today's warm-up, we want you moving at a moderate pace, but we are going to put a 9-minute cap on the warm-up. So just make it as far as you can in that 9 minutes. We're going to start out with a 500-meter row or a 1,500-meter bike ride. You can also sub in a 400-meter run if you don't have a bike or a rower. From there, we're going to go into 2 rounds. In these 2 rounds, we're going to be doing 5 bootstrapper squats. For that bootstrapper, you go down to the bottom of the squat, place your fingers underneath your toes, actively pull yourself down, hips down, chest up, and then keeping the hands in place as we stand all the way up, extending the legs. Then back down in the bottom of that squat position. We're going to perform 5 reps of those bootstrappers. And then we're going to grab a PVC for a good morning. That's going on your back. Good flat back the whole time. Hinge at the hips with a slightly unlocked knee to about 90 degrees. And then back up. This is a nice, slow, controlled movement. We're going to go ahead and do 5 of those. Complete that. Then we're on to 5 inchworm push-ups. For the inchworm push-up, start out with the legs nice and straight, hands on the ground. You're going to walk yourself all the way onto that push-up position. Perform 1 push-up, and then we're going to walk ourselves back, keeping the legs straight the entire time. 5 of those. We're going to complete 2 rounds of those, 5 of each of the 3 movements. And then we're going to go into another 2 rounds. This 2 rounds, we're going to start out with 8 barbell good mornings. Once again, bar is going to be on your back, slightly unlocked knees, good flat back, and we're going to hinge to about 90 degrees, slightly further, and stand all the way up. Really make sure we're keeping that back nice and flat the whole time during these. Then we're going to go on to 8 scap push-ups. Scap push-up is just going to be focusing on the top part of that push-up. We're going to be in a plank, and then we're going to push through our shoulders, sinking back down, and through the shoulders. There's no movement through the elbow the whole time. We're moving through the shoulder blades. Then we're on to 8 scap pull-ups. That's where you're going to be hanging from an object. Once again, we're just moving through the shoulder blades, working on pulling those shoulder blades down and in. Just find anywhere you can hang to complete those 8. And then we're finishing up this 2 rounds with 8 tuck-ups. On that tuck-up, it's going to start out very similar to a hollow rock, and then from there, bring the knees in, hands down. Nice, smooth, controlled movement. And we're completing 8 of those. So once again, 2 rounds, 8 reps apiece of all of these movements. And then finally, we're on to another 2 rounds on this warm-up. This 2 rounds are going to start out with 10 RDLs with a barbell. For that RDL, we're going to start from the waist, slightly unlocked knee, very similar to the good mornings. Keeping that bar closed all the way down below the knee to about mid-shin, and standing all the way up. Very important we keep that bar nice and close. 10 RDLs. Then we're on to 10 perfect push-ups. Every push-up you should do should be perfect anyways, but good plank position, chest touches the ground, and a full lockout every single time. Try to avoid any of that warming. 10 reps of that. Then finally, we're finishing up with 10 kipping swings. Okay, once again, find somewhere to hang on a rig. If you don't have anywhere to hang for the kipping swing, just go ahead and sub that out for 10 PVC pass-throughs and get those shoulder blades warmed up. Okay, that will complete your warm-up. Now that we're warmed up, we're on to the workout. Today's workout is going to be the couplet of deadlift and toes to bar. We're going to perform that in a rep scheme of 30, 20, 10. Trick is today we're going to be adding in a set of 50 double unders or 100 single unders after each set. So for instance, you will complete 30 deadlifts, 30 toes to bar, and then 50 double unders or 100 single unders. Then on to the set of 20, 20, and more doubles and singles. And finally finishing up with 10, 10, and 50 dubs or 100 singles. Okay? Now that we got that out of the way, the actual movements themselves, the deadlift. Good vertical shins, back nice and set, and very important that we keep this bar, or if we're using dumbbells or kettlebells, nice and close all the way through that pull. Keep them close, and especially on the way down, make sure that we're keeping everything nice and lined up, setting that back every single time. Smooth, controlled deadlifts. Make sure we're not bouncing that weight off the ground. 30 of those, then onto 30 toes to bar. For those of you who don't have a rig to hang from, we're going to sub those toes to bar for V-ups. So the V-up's basically going to be like a toes to bar, but from the ground, arms and legs fully extended, and you're gonna meet in the middle. Make sure that you're meeting in the middle. You're not sitting all the way up and touching your toes or throwing your toes all the way up to your hands. That's gonna be the sub for the toes to bar. So once again, 30-30, dubs, 20-20, dubs, 10-10, dubs, all the way through.